Hi loves, how are you? I hope that you are doing well. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Nina or Sinfulpluto, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for joining us here today. So what we're going to be going over today is basically what we should be manifesting for this Libra New Moon that's coming up soon, or that's, on the day that you see this, that will be here. So yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So rather than doing like a pick a card, I think I'm going to go over the 12 signs very quickly, okay? So let's just get into it. I'm going to go in order. So I'll put in the timestamps below, like all of the signs, so that you can just watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, and maybe even Jupiter if you desire. Sidereal or tropical if you want, it's up to you. But yeah, so let's get into it. We're going to go into Aries first, right? Let's see, this Libra New Moon is definitely going to be impactful for Aries, sun, moon, and rising, or any Aries placement, just because Libra opposes Aries, of course, and so that's exciting for you. So, what should we focus on? What should Aries focus on manifesting with this Libra New Moon? What should Aries focus on manifesting this Libra full moon? Okay. All right, Aries. What should Aries focus on manifesting this full moon? What should Aries focus on manifesting with this Libra full moon? Ooh, okay. Alright. So we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so manifesting consistency and patience is very important for you this new moon, Aries, okay? If you have been shooting off all of these ideas and you want to do all of these things, but you haven't had, you haven't been exerting your energy in the right ways, then maybe this new moon is a perfect time for you to re-strategize, to replan, or to just create a plan or a strategy in the first place, because maybe you didn't create one at all. Definitely work on manifesting consistency, Aries. I know that's something that's a little bit hard for you because you get so excited and you just want to do everything immediately that by the time that you're in the middle of the thing that you're doing, you get really burnt out and you kind of just like drop the idea. So Knight of Pentacles tells me that like if you want to do something, create a plan, okay? Definitely create a plan. Don't just impulsively go into something without having an idea as to what you're going to do. And realize that you are, how can I put this? Like, there isn't always a shortcut that you can take. You can't always take the easy way. Sometimes you have to take the way that's like kind of long and boring and maybe even a little bit arduous. Not to say that it's difficult, but it's just a long journey. And so there are just certain things that you have to learn along the way throughout this entire path of whatever it is that you're following, whether it's an idea, a project, an endeavor, a job, whatever it is. There has to be patience and consistency and no trying to take no shortcuts. That's what it is. No shortcuts at all. No, like you can't just try to escape all of the work that you have to do or anything along those lines. Does that kind of make sense? So yeah, and then we also have the Knight of Wands reversed. So this is, to me, is like, again, the impulsivity going on here. The impulsivity, not thinking things through, being very hot-headed, and letting your passion get the best of you. And even though it's great to have passion, it's wonderful to have passion, but if you're not honing in on it on the right way, or in the right way, or if you're not tuning into it correctly, or if you're not placing your passion in the right places, that's where things get a little bit awkward and just weird. You know what I mean? So there has to be a sense of structure for you, I think, this new moon. So that's just something to be mindful of, okay? Sorry, like the lighting is just so weird, but anyways, I'm gonna make this very quick. I don't want this video to be like super long, so I'm just gonna go through each of the signs as quickly as I can, okay? So, Taurus. What should Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter focus on manifesting with this Libra, with this Libra new moon? So, Libra, you know, is co-ruled by Venus. So I feel like this is a very great new moon for you to manifest, Taurus, because it's in your sign. Or it's in your ruling planet. It's not in your sign, but it's in your ruling planet, I guess you could say. I don't know, like, the correct terminology for that, but in general, with Libra moons, it's always wonderful. It's always great and encouraged to manifest money during this Libra new moon. I don't know if I keep on saying full moon. I'm sorry. New moon. Like money, or like maybe even material things, or anything that has to do with beauty, maybe like socializing, things like that. That's just like a general thing, but let's see what's in store specifically for you, Taurus. What should you work on manifesting this new moon? Alright. What should Taurus work on manifesting with this Libra new moon? Okay, better go. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. What did I say? Money, that's one. Money, wealth, work on manifesting that. Work on manifesting stability. Work on manifesting a happy home. Work on manifesting peace within the home. A restful night's sleep. If you haven't been sleeping well, I think you should work on manifesting that as well. Maybe if some of you have been like wanting a pet or something, maybe that's something that you can do as well, like manifesting a pet. I also feel like manifest success that is generational, success that, you know, will last you a very long time. Again, you know, the whole money, wealth, status, reputation sort of thing that I mentioned earlier. But also I feel like this 10 of Pentacles is saying, like, don't try to rush anything. You know, take a rest when you need to. Don't try to just overwork yourself. Like, yes, put in the work, and I feel like a lot of you have been putting in the work because I have the 8 of Pentacles, so it's like a lot of you have been working for this. A lot of you have been moving forward. Here we have the Chariot. A lot of you have been really progressing and moving, like, very quickly, and I'm very proud of you for that, and I feel like you've really been focusing on work, on money, on securing your bag, and that's awesome. I'm proud of you for that. So I feel that with this new moon, it's just another opportunity to continue manifesting the thing that you've been working on, to perfect your craft, to perfect whatever it is that you have just been really honing in on your energy on. I see, like, this 8 of Pentacles is like you literally, like, making money, creating this 10 of Pentacles life, creating a life of stability, of security, you know, creating a life where, you know, by the time that you're like 5 years older, 10 years older, you don't have to worry about working so hard all the time, you know? You're putting in all of the work now. Maybe you're even overworking yourself, which I wouldn't necessarily encourage. But maybe some of you are really, like, pushing yourself to the limit so that 5-10 years from now, you don't even have to worry about that. You can just sit back and rest, and you can enjoy your wealth with your family or with your friends or your loved ones or whoever or whatever it is that you want to do, right? I just see a lot of material growth, and I think that if you haven't been working on this, manifest this, okay? And if you don't know how to manifest, there's tons and tons and tons of videos on YouTube. There's, like, scripting techniques that you can look up. You can just look up how to manifest, you know, different ways to manifest, okay? It's all very accessible, and you can very easily find anything that you need to look for, or anything that you need to find, okay? So Taurus, this is really great. I feel like money, security, wealth, like material things, of course, you're focusing on that. And of course, this comes up for you because obviously you're a Taurus. You're all about the material. You like to be comfortable. Just you have to work hard now so that later you can live in the comfortable, luxurious lifestyle that you desire to have and that you feel that you deserve. Does that kind of make sense? All right. So, Gemini. What should Gemini work on manifesting? What should Gemini work on manifesting? So, if you're a Gemini rising, this Libra New Moon, this Libra New Moon, I'm pretty sure, is going to be in your 5th house. Am I wrong? Probably. Gemini, Cancer, 2nd house, Leo, hold on. Gemini rising, Sagittarius, 7th house, 6th house would be Scorpio, 5th house would be Libra. Okay, yep, I was right. So, if you're Gemini rising, the new moon is going to be in your 5th house. This is the house all about children, hobbies, creativity, sexual pleasures, anything that pleasures you, anything that you really love, anything that you enjoy. It's also your inner child. For some of you Gemini risings, maybe you need to connect with your inner child again. Maybe some of you need to work on being a little bit more creative rather than overworking yourselves. Connect with the things that you are passionate about. If you have been kind of feeling a little bit sexually depleted or have been feeling just really weird in terms of intimacy, maybe that's something that you can work on improving and manifesting a better sex life. That's just the way to. That's the best way I can put it. Or maybe if some of you are trying to have a child, you can work on manifesting that with this Libra New Moon. So let's see what comes up for you. All right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What should Gemini work on manifesting this Libra New Moon? Judgment reversed. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, we also have the Ten of Pentacles. Again. Yo, and you saw me shuffle this deck very well. You saw me shuffle this deck. I was going in. Okay, so Judgment reversed. This essentially talks about not learning a lesson. This talks about, history being repeated. This talks about living in the past. And so if some of you have been feeling as though the past just keeps on coming back up, as though just you keep on living the same old thing, the same old just lifestyle every single day and you're tired of it, if you feel as though you're just like in that movie, I think it's Groundhog Day, where he just keeps on reliving the same day over and over and over again, if you feel like you're just like in this constant loop and you don't know how to get out of it, I would very strongly encourage you to manifest getting out of this loop, to encourage yourself to learn whatever lesson that you need to learn, to open yourself to receiving and accepting the lesson, whatever it is that you have to learn. Work on being open to change and being open to whatever the universe is trying to teach you, because I feel like the past is just being repeated and there's some sort of wake-up call that you're either ignoring or you're postponing, delaying, or you're just not seeing. There's some sort of wake-up call. And so if you need a wake-up call, if you feel like you have been needing a wake-up call, but maybe you're just missing out on the signs, whether it's purposely or not, work on manifesting that. Manifest a new life for yourself. Manifest letting go of the past. Manifest a new chapter, a new life. Manifest new people into your life if you need to. A new environment. Maybe a new home. Maybe a new school. Whatever it is for you, I would really suggest that you work on that. With this Ten of Pentacles, I feel like some of you kind of just need to give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack, because I keep seeing like the girl resting. Alice is resting. with her 2 cats and stuff, and she's just like hanging out. And so I feel like some of you might need to detach yourselves a little bit from whatever situation that you're in so that you can finally learn the lesson that you're in. And I also have the 8 of Swords, which is telling me that you're kind of in this self-imposed mental trap. You're in this self-imposed trap or self-imposed prison. And you might feel really powerless and you might feel really helpless. And so some of you might need to manifest feeling powerful and feeling competent and feeling adequate and feeling like you can get out of this. If there's something that you feel stuck in, if there's like, for example, a relationship that you feel stuck in, you know, manifest a new life. Manifest getting yourself out of that situation. If you're not happy in this relationship, then manifest getting out. And obviously this isn't just saying all of these affirmations of you like getting out. It's you actually putting in the effort, putting in the work to get out and to free yourself and to liberate yourself from this imprisonment. Because with this 8 of Swords, this talks about how whenever I see the 8 of Swords, this basically to me talks about like how someone feels trapped. They feel imprisoned in a situation or some sort of circumstance, but they've grown to accept their circumstances and they have kind of just remained complacent in the situation. They've grown complacent in whatever is just going on, and they've been convinced, or they have convinced themselves that there's nothing that they can do, and so they just like sat back and have done nothing. And the fact of the matter is that you can do something. There's always something that you can do. There's always a way to approach a situation, or should I say there's always a better way to approach a situation. And so if you have been feeling stuck, if you have been feeling a little too comfortable, in this little 10 of Pentacles area where it feels very secure, and the only reason that you're not leaving is because it provides a sense of security. Even if it's a false sense of security, it provides that feeling. So maybe some of you need to work on manifesting freedom and liberation and independence, and working on your own, and thinking on your own, thinking with your own mind rather than letting other people tell you what to do or anything along those lines. Does that kind of make sense? Obviously, easier said than done, of course, but still very possible. Okay, so next we have Cancer. Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. All right, what should Cancer work on manifesting with this Libra New Moon? If you are a Cancer rising, in the whole sign system, which is the system that I use, and Placidus is different. If you know the difference, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, look it up. But in whole signs, this new moon, this new moon in Libra will, I think, be hitting, is it your 4th house? Cancer rising. Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. Yeah, 4th house. So, Cancer, maybe you want to manifest a new home, a new beautiful home. Maybe you want to manifest peace in your household. Maybe you want to manifest something that has to do with the home, with the roots, with the family, with old age even, because that's also the 4th house, is the end of life kind of. The 4th house is not only the roots, but it's also the end of life. It's how it shows like how everything is full circle, you know? So maybe that's something that you want to do. Maybe you want to manifest a closer relationship with a parent of yours, or a better relationship, or a more peaceful relationship with a parent in your life. Or maybe even, actually no, it's more of a 3rd house thing, never mind. Maybe becoming closer with your heritage. Let's see. Alright, so what should Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter focus on manifesting with this Libra New Moon? Maybe you want to redecorate your room, right? Make it all pretty and shit. To kind of upgrade it. All right, we have the Queen of Wands reversed. This can signify a few things. This can signify someone who is a bit hot-headed, a little arrogant, someone who doesn't want to listen to what everyone else has to say. And maybe recently, Cancer, you have been acting this way. And maybe it's time for you to make amends with people and to apologize for your behaviors and actions. And so maybe you should manifest a rekindling of relationships because maybe you know that you didn't treat the people around you exactly the way you should have. And maybe they deserve an apology for that, right? Because we have the Ten of Cups reversed, which can signify an unhappy home. And that's what we were talking about, a peaceful home. Maybe you want to manifest a more peaceful home environment. Maybe you need to manifest a change in behavior, a change in attitude, a change in mindset. Because with this Queen of Wands, this can signify someone who can be very nasty and very, very, very hot-headed. And Cancers, you know, we tend to be very passive-aggressive, but when our claws are out, we tend to do some really bad damage. And a lot of the time, that damage is kind of unwarranted, and we tend to keep everything in for so long that eventually we just pop off on people that don't deserve it. And it's like there are way too many casualties, you know, in the whole process of you popping off. So, like I said, a better attitude might need to be manifested. Again, a rekindling of relationships, an apology accepted, a conversation that has to be had. Maybe you can manifest that. Maybe there's a family member that you need to talk to. Maybe, like I said, maybe you have to work on manifesting a better family life, a better home life, things of that nature. The Queen of Wands reverse can also just signify someone who seeks out a lot of validation, someone who is really insecure and they don't really believe in themselves despite being very beautiful and despite being very attractive and sensual or whatever you want to call it. And so maybe with this Libra New Moon, you should work on manifesting self-love and self-confidence and self-empathy and compassion for yourself, patience with yourself, validating yourself and realizing that you don't need other people to approve of you, and it's just you who has to do all of it, you know? So perhaps that is something that you should work on manifesting with this Libra New Moon, Cancer. So now we have Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What should Leo work on manifesting? If you're a Leo rising, this new moon is probably going to be in your third house, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Leo, Virgo, yeah. Your third house. So what that means for some of you, is maybe manifesting a better form of communication. Maybe manifesting a car, right? Because the third house has to do with travel, short distance travel. So I'm pretty sure cars fall into that. If not, girl, I'm not an astrologer. What else? Perhaps manifesting a better relationship with your neighbors, your aunts, your uncles, with your cousins, with your siblings. Maybe manifesting a sibling into your life. I don't know. Or manifesting rekindling a friendship that you had with someone, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's what that is, like friends. Or maybe it is a change in mindset, a change in thought process, a change in the way in which you communicate. Maybe manifesting better grades at school. But obviously with all of that, with all of these manifestations, it also takes effort on your part. It's not something that just falls into your lap. So something to be mindful of. So let's see. What should Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter work on manifesting? Two of Cups reversed. Ooh. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles. All right. So, Two of Cups reversed. This can signify a breakup. It doesn't have to be a romantic breakup. It can be like a friendship breakup. Excuse me. If you have been feeling stuck in a friendship or in some sort of relationship that you're just not happy in, again, it doesn't have to be romantic. If you've been feeling stuck in it, maybe you can manifest a way in which things can just end peacefully and in a way that just isn't catastrophic, essentially. This can also, to me, signify reflection. And learning to see your own reflection and learning to love that reflection, learning to see and acknowledge your shadow side and accepting it. Maybe you need to work on creating harmony with your relationships, because if your relationships with people, whatever these relationships might be, whether it's at work or family or romantic, platonic, whatever it might be, maybe you need to work on creating a lot more harmony in your relationships, in your everyday relationships, and in the way in which, and even your relationship with the world and your relationship with yourself. Does that kind of make sense? And not clinging onto any sort of like false sense of security that you might have towards something. And I say that because I have the Four of Pentacles. So if some of you need to let go of a person who just isn't good for you, now would be a really good time to do that. Don't be so stubborn. It's interesting because this little mouse or a rat or whatever the fuck this is in a little tea kettle. And at the top here, there's another tea kettle. So I just like how the imagery just fits like that. Maybe you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone and get to know other people. If you're someone who is very shy and you don't really do well with getting to know people and socializing and things like that, maybe with this Libra New Moon, you can work on overcoming a little bit the social anxiety, or being more open and willing to talk to new people, getting to know them, getting outside of your comfort zone, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, things along those lines, you know? So that's one thing. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to get to know people, to talk to them, to kind of shoot your friend's shot, or to, you know, join a club, or to do some sort of community service, you know? Maybe some of you can even work on manifesting. Maybe some of you can even work on manifesting a trip, a small vacation somewhere. Somewhere that's not very far from home, but a trip nonetheless. So, Virgo. Let's get into Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. So if you are a Virgo, or a Virgo rising, should I say, if you're a Virgo rising, that means the new moon is going to be in your second house of possessions, material things, values, what you personally value, income, the way in which you make money, or like your main form of income, should I say. What else is the second house? It's like your fashion sense, right? So maybe a change in style or a change in values, and not necessarily in like a bad way or anything. Maybe your values are completely fine, but maybe just a different perspective, a new perspective. This is a great time to manifest money, more money, especially for you Virgo risings, because this new moon is in your second house. So anything to do with money, value, like valuables, possessions. I can't remember anything else for the second house, but anything to do with that, work on manifesting that. So, let's see. Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What should they work on manifesting with this Libra New Moon? What should Virgo focus on manifesting with this Libra New Moon? Got 2 cards. I got 2 cards for you. We've got the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Swords reversed. Alright, so the 5 of Swords reversed. Is the 5 of Swords? Yeah. With the 5 of Swords reversed, this talks all about petty drama. This talks about an empty victory. Maybe there was some sort of drama that you were in, some sort of situation that just has just been dragged out for far too long. And with the 8 of Wands, this talks about action and initiative. So maybe this talks, for some of you, this could just be very quickly ending some sort of drama or petty situation or petty issue that just isn't worth the time and ending it very quickly, okay? The 5 of Swords reversed to me is like, just end the situation. It's over with. It's done with. Don't drag it out. You know, there's no reason to continue beating a dead horse with a stick. So if you have been caught up in some sort of situation that is just not serving you in any sort of way, if it has been draining you, I would say that this Libra New Moon is really wonderful. A really wonderful way to manifest just letting go and releasing the situation and moving forward and focusing on your money and focusing on doing more for yourself, doing better for yourself and improving. If some of you need to have some sort of communication of like closure or whatever, with this 8 of Wands was just like quick fire messages, like something happening very quickly. If you need something to happen very quickly, I would say that this 8 of Wands would work on your side in the sense that like you would get it, or like whatever it is that you try to manifest, I feel like it would come to you very quickly. But I also have the Judgment card reversed, so similar to Gemini, right? So if there's something that you have been stuck in, if history has been repeating itself, if this situation has been repeating itself, maybe work on manifesting, just learning your lesson, on being open to learning the lesson that you need to learn and receiving the answers that you need so that you could just move forward and move on and not have to just continue dealing with the situation, because it does seem a little bit tiring, obviously. I mean, if history keeps on repeating itself, then it gets a little bit boring, it gets tedious, and it gets exhausting and draining. So maybe some of you need to manifest some sort of wake-up call, some sort of sign to move forward, to move on, to let go, and to just no longer linger in this energy. I feel like a lot of you need to work on like taking action, manifest initiative, like just moving forward, looking, like not even looking back. Here we have the Knight of Swords as well, which is like moving forward with good intentions and being very intelligent and no longer looking back, no longer like regretting anything. If there's any sort of regrets that you have, you need to work on letting that go, and you can manifest just releasing all of that with this new moon. Right? All right. Okay, so now we have Libra. Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you're a Libra rising, this new moon is going to be hitting your first house of self, of vitality, of your physical self, right? So maybe some of you want to manifest getting a new tattoo, right? Or maybe you want to manifest a healthier physical body. Maybe you want to manifest being a little bit more peaceful or diplomatic, or a change in your physical looks. Maybe you want to change your style up a bit. do something different, right? Just anything that has to do with the self, with the physical body. All right, let's see. What should Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter work on manifesting with this Libra New Moon? Tower reversed. Oof. Eight of Swords. Jesus. And then at the bottom of the deck, King of Cups reversed. And then the Five of Cups. And then the Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of emotions going on here. Libra, if you have been feeling emotionally drained, if you have been feeling maybe even emotionally detached and cold as a way to cope with whatever it is that you're dealing with, maybe you should work on manifesting liberating yourself rather than shutting down. The Tower reversed would signify resistance to massive change. This would signify to me like you've received plenty of warnings. You've received plenty of warnings of the changes coming along, or of things that have to happen so that you can grow and improve, and maybe those things just haven't been taking place because you've just been avoiding them or not seeing them or ignoring them, kind of like ignoring the signs. With this new moon, it's a really great time to let go of the old, out with the old, in with the new, okay? It's time for a completely new self. It's time to liberate yourself. It's time to realize that you are a lot more powerful than you might think. And I think that your emotions may have gotten the best of you the past few weeks or for however long. And if your emotions have been convincing you, if your mind has been convincing you that you are worthless or that you are powerless or that you are helpless in some sort of circumstance or situation, it's time to remind yourself and to manifest that you are so much more powerful than you think you are, and that you can go through with the changes that you need to go through. And it doesn't have to be this dramatic thing. It doesn't have to be this catastrophic, terrible, traumatic thing, okay? I think it's time to open your eyes to whatever it is that you have just been trying to ignore or remain blind to. I think it's time to open yourself up to a new chapter in your life and let things kind of fall apart so that you can give yourself time to rebuild. Because the thing about trying to keep up an old building is that eventually, if the foundation is just not stable, eventually that thing is going to fall apart one way or another. At one point or another, it's going to fall apart. So allow yourself to clear up the space so that you can manifest a lot greater things. I feel like there's just a lot of clutter going on. And if there's a lot of things that you have been having a hard time letting go of, this is a really great time to just let go of all of it and clear up the space so that you can actually move forward and manifest things that you actually desire, whatever that might be. You know? So, yeah. Alright, Scorpio. The Libra Moon is going to be in your 12th house. This is all about the hidden things that are unknown to us, the subconscious. I'm pretty sure it's like our own undoing or whatever. Things that are hidden to us. Hidden enemies or whatever. The house of, I think, spirituality. I mean, there's like a whole debate about it. I'm not going to debate with you about what it is. But it's like all about enlightenment and the end of a cycle, essentially, right? It is the last house of the zodiac wheel. It's like ascension almost. The end, but also the beginning. The beginning of an end? The end of a beginning? Oh. So, Scorpio, what should you work on manifesting? What should Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter work on manifesting? What should Scorpio manifest with this Libra New Moon? What should Scorpio manifest for this Libra New Moon? Ten of Wands. Okay, a burden. There's a burden that you have to let go of. I'm not surprised. If there have been friends, whether they're genuine friends or fake friends, if they have been a burden to you, or if they have been... If there have been friends, specifically feminine friends, or very passive, aggressive friends that you have that don't really have your best interest at heart and who are kind of like frenemies, fake friends, like low-key hater friends, you know, like low-key like your enemy rather than your friend, and kind of like putting you down really in really weird ways even though they're your friend. Maybe it's time to let them go, okay? If they have been gossiping about you, and if they have just been treating you really badly and talking badly about you behind your back, maybe it's time to manifest better friendships, manifest better social groups, and to let go of whatever burden that you're carrying. If they're kind of just dumping all of their shit on you, it's not your burden to carry. Remember that. It is never your burden to carry because it's other people's shit and other people are projecting onto you. Okay? The roles could also be reversed, where maybe you are the hidden enemy to someone, in which case maybe you need to step away from that situation and find other people that you are not secretly jealous of or secretly hating on for whatever reason it might be because of your own insecurities and projections. Okay? Take it from what it is, or, you know, take what resonates. But yeah, the Ten of Wands is all about just feeling burdens, feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. If you feel like these friends just are against you all of the time and pushing you down all of the time, they're not worth it, I promise you. It could also be with this Three of Cups reversed that maybe you are drinking a little bit too much. Maybe there is something that you are really drowning yourself in, whatever it might be. And maybe you're not even aware of it. Maybe you feel like you're completely okay and that you're fine and you don't need help. But really, there is an elephant in the room, and it's something that you have to address and something that you have to face with this new moon. So that's just something to be mindful of. If you're partying a lot, maybe not not the greatest thing. Manifest on facing your issues rather than running away. And don't just escape. I feel like a lot of this, don't just like, don't use partying or drugs or alcohol or whatever coping mechanism that you might have that isn't the healthiest as a means to escape the reality of a situation, because at the end of the day, it's going to continue building up to the point that you can't walk anymore, and it's going to fall all over on your shoulders, and you're going to have to pick up your own mess. So that is something to be mindful of, okay? All right. So, Sagittarius. This is going to be hitting your 11th house if you are a Sagittarius rising. So this is all about friends, acquaintances, social groups, hopes, wishes, I think technology, like innovations or stuff like that. Social media, I would even say. What's another one? There's always, friends. I've always forget the other names that I have for the 11th house, but maybe you can manifest, you know, building a following on social media, or, you know, meeting new people. Oh, charities. Charities is a good one. Manifest, you know, maybe like working at a nonprofit or helping out a nonprofit or meeting new people. Again, friend groups, acquaintances, the collective, social media, like having like a public voice almost. So maybe those are some things that have been on your mind that you want to work on. And you can use this new moon as a catalyst, if you will. Maybe building a good reputation on social media or with friend groups or things like that. All right. So what should Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter manifest with this Libra New Moon? What should Sagittarius manifest with this Libra New Moon? Yo, everyone's getting judgment. Everyone's getting judgment. The mutable signs are the ones that are getting judgment. That's what I'm noticing. Gemini got it, Virgo got it, and now Sagittarius. But this time it's upright. So manifest a lesson learned, maybe in terms of social media. Five of Swords reversed, petty drama, perhaps like with friend groups or something like that. I mean, it makes sense because for Sagittarius risings, this would be like friend groups, the masses, collective, groups in general, like social groups and shit. So if there was drama in terms of friends or social media that you were dragged into or whatever it may be, maybe manifest a lesson learned from that. Manifest just being able to walk away from that because I have the Six of Swords. So just like manifest walking away from the situation and like moving on, having learned your lesson, manifest that wake-up call, manifest a better standing with friends or an apology or making amends with certain people in your life, especially if it was like over petty drama, you know, like manifest having a conversation with someone and speaking your side or reaching some sort of mutual agreement with the people that you might have had really petty drama with, and just like let some sort of situation just die off, whatever this may have been, and just like allow yourself to surrender rather than just like keep on beating the dead horse with a stick, like I have said for like other people who have had these two cards. I literally have these two cards, so that's crazy. Mutable signs are kind of going through it seems like. That was very quick. I don't have much to say. I mean, I feel like that was just, if you're Sagittarius rising, I would probably tell you to just like watch the Gemini and Pisces, or not, the Gemini and Virgo part, because that was essentially like the same thing that I said. So, alright, so now we have Capricorn. So, if you're Capricorn rising, this Libra New Moon is going to be in your 10th house, which is all about career, profession, reputation, status, pretty sure like politics, government, your social standing. So maybe you want to build a better reputation, a more pleasant, harmonizing reputation, social standing again, or some sort of career path that is like Venusian or something. So let's see what Capricorn should focus on manifesting with this Libra New Moon. Alright. What should Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter manifest with this Libra New Moon? King of Swords reversed. Damn, and the World reversed. And the Six of Swords. Okay. King of Swords reversed in the World reversed. The King of Swords reversed can be someone who is kind of cruel, honestly. They're very rigid, and I know that sometimes Capricorn can be that way, so maybe you need to manifest being a little bit more flexible, being a little bit more willing to listen to other people's ideas rather than just like shutting them down because you think that they're stupid. Or maybe you need to manifest finishing up some sort of business that you have with someone who is a King of Swords reversed. Maybe an Aquarius, an air sign. Maybe an Aquarius or a Gemini or a Libra. If there's unfinished business that you have with this person, I would manifest getting things done or mending things or whatever it is that you have to do, getting some sort of closure with this person so that history doesn't continue repeating itself. Tie up any loose ends that you might have with someone who takes on the role of the King of Swords reversed. It could also be that with this King of Swords reversed that, like I said, maybe some of you are being a little bit more rigid, and that's why you have to be a little bit more flexible. If you have been very cold towards people lately, if you have just been very like logical and like Saturnian, and just like shutting people down and kind of holding them to your own standard of morals, I think it's important for you to work on being a little bit more fair rather than imposing your own beliefs onto them. So work again on being very flexible with people, on not holding them to your own standard of morals and beliefs, because not everyone has the same beliefs as you, and that might be a little bit of a wake-up call for you, okay? And I feel like with this World reverse, this talks about like a lack of fulfillment. This talks about history being repeated. So this, maybe for some of you, this isn't the first time that this has happened. And so this is just another opportunity for you to just like let go of this. Yes? To just move forward, to transition, to let go of the past, out with the old and with the new sort of vibe. Or this may have just been someone who was acting this way towards you, in which case just let it go, move on from the situation, and don't let it kind of get to you so much, if that kind of makes sense. You know? Alright. Alright. And then we have Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you're an Aquarius rising, this new moon is going to be in your 9th house, which is like a philosophy, religion, spirituality, astrology, long distance travels, higher learning, which is like college. So maybe you want to manifest going to college, or, you know, learning new things, going on a long distance vacation, doing something that's completely foreign to you, which, you know, is very fitting for an Aquarius, right? You want to do something different, something new all of the time. Let's see, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What should Aquarius manifest with this Libra New Moon? What should Aquarius manifest with this Libra New Moon? Oh, that was way too many cards. What should Aquarius... Yo, I got your card. That's crazy. But it came out sideways, so I don't know how to take that. So I'm going to put it back in, and if it comes back out, then it's meant to be. So what should Aquarius manifest with this Libra New Moon? Oh, girl. What should Aquarius manifest with this Libra New Moon? Okay, got one. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands reversed. Okay. We have the Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, so if you have been feeling confused, conflicted about something, if you have been stuck in an old mindset, this is a really wonderful time to Open yourself up to new beliefs, which makes sense because it's in your 9th house if you're an Aquarius rising. Open yourself up to new beliefs, to new mindsets, to new perspectives, rather than limiting yourself to just one way of doing things. With this 2 of Wands reversed, this signifies like tying yourself down to something, or like feeling like handcuffed, or like feeling as though your hands are tied behind your back and there's not much that you can do. So if you have been feeling as though just really confused about something, if you've been feeling as though you have nothing else that you can do, that your hands are tied behind your back, this is a really great time to manifest the opposite of that. To manifest freedom, liberation, a new mindset, a new perspective, mental clarity. If your mind has been feeling very fuzzy and very like lost, it's a really great time to manifest mental clarity, to receive and to open yourself to receive mental clarity, precision, and like knowing exactly what you have to do, manifesting a plan. Manifesting, like, especially with this 2 of Wands reverse, this to me is like a decision that you have to make. If you have been stuck on some sort of decision and like feeling confused and foggy over it, again, manifest like clarity and knowing exactly what you have to do, knowing exactly what decision that you have to make. Excuse me. And with this Ace of Wands reversed, this can also signify that you need to become a little bit more independent. You need to fly on your own. You need to do your own thing. If people have been telling you what to do, or if you have been depending on other people to like help guide you, then it's time to assert your independence, to forge your own path and to do what you think is right, and to just move forward even if you don't necessarily have a clue as to what you're doing, because as long as you keep on moving, you'll find your way through and you will have the answers that you need. Okay? All right. And lastly, we have Pisces. So if you are a Pisces rising, this new moon is going to be in your 8th house, which is the house of like debt, taxes, other people's money. What else is it the house of? I don't want to say death because that's such a cliche thing, and honestly, like I don't really believe, I don't associate death with that, even though it might be like a metaphorical death or whatever. I just don't see the association of it. So if you're Pisces, the new moon will be in your, what is it? The 8th house. So the 8th house of like hidden things, of things that you suppress, of things that you keep to yourself, of secrets. Again, taxes, debt, other people's money, inheritance, things like that. So, having Venus there, perhaps you get some sort of inheritance, or someone gives you money, loans you money, right? Manifesting that someone loans you money, or borrows, or, you know, like lets you borrow money from them. Whatever the case may be, if you're Pisces rising, and if you've been trying to manifest that, or if you've been needing some sort of loan or whatever it is, like from a bank or something, I would say that with this new moon, it'd be a great time to manifest that loan or whatever it is, or that grant or whatever, or even that inheritance. All right, let's see. What should Pisces manifest with this Libra new moon? What should Pisces manifest with this Libra new moon? All right. Oh my God. This is the 3rd time I'm getting this card. Yo, I swear to God. Oh. Every single mutable sign that I have pulled for has gotten this card. I don't understand. I don't get it. What's going on between the mutables? What's going on? I would like to know. So, manifesting a wake-up call, a lesson learned, letting go of history, letting go of the past, moving forward, changed actions, changed behavior, changed attitudes. Just look at the others. Literally, Pisces, just look at Sagittarius, look at Virgo, look at Gemini, and you'll know what this means. Like, if you have been feeling trapped or stuck in time, if you feel like you have been going through this constant loop, get yourself out of it. If you have been stuck in some sort of relationship, if you have been stuck in something that you're just not happy in, if someone has been making you feel helpless or powerless in some sort of situation, this new moon is a really great time to manifest that. And it's also time for changed behavior and changed actions. If you haven't been putting any action, if you haven't been taking any initiative, if you have just kind of been sitting here and accepting the circumstances for what they are and not making any changes, then you're going to stay in this mindset and you're going to stay in this phase in your life. So, manifest, I guess, self-worth. Manifest a belief in yourself, confidence in yourself. And I don't mean just like confidence and like, oh, like I'm so cute. No, confidence that you can overcome the situation and confidence that you can free yourself and liberate yourself and that you don't need the validation of other people to be free of some sort of situation. Liberate yourself from the mental prison that you've put yourself in because you're the only one who has the key to unlock yourself. You're the only one who has the key to do that. I don't know what to tell you because this is literally the same thing that I got for everyone else, for the other mutable signs. So, I'm just going to end it right here. Everyone, if you've enjoyed this, let me know. If this resonates with you and if you want more insight, book a reading with me if you desire. My website is sinfulpluto.com. Make sure to read the terms and conditions, the like policies or whatever, the descriptions of all of the readings, just so that you know what you're getting yourself into. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so at Sinfulpluto on Twitter and Instagram. And I think that's it. So happy Libra New Moon. Mutable signs, we need to have a conversation because it's creepy. It's very creepy how judgment came out for all of you and not any other sign. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. So, with that being said, bye.